What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gridiron Chronicles. My name is Sway. I'm your host, and we'd like to welcome
Tanner Swarn, tight end, champ.
Jake Reed, free safety, 2021 MVP, 2023 champ. Joseph Parker, receiver.
Daryl Dobbins, O-line.
Zach Alvaro, O-line.
Chris Gabaldon, O-line.
Hey, Billy L. Chris, 52, guard.
Derek McClure, O-line coach.
So, I would just like to say this one time. How does it feel to be champs?
2 times. Hey, for the first time, y'all gotta go.
Back to
Yeah, first timers go.
First time, I loved it. You know, of course, Coach Way, you know me. I've been on the Predators for, multiple years, 2 years back to back. I lost the championship, so finally getting my first one, I love it.
Will there be any changes with your team next year? Like, are you guys losing a lot of players, or will you guys be gaining?
We got everybody coming back.
I think we're just adding. Aside from O-line coach, we're going to try to get him back. But as of right now, I think he's the only one that's leaving. So
So, as a team, as a whole right now, is there a team where you guys like to, play against week 1? What team would you guys like to play week 1?
Outlaws.
Roll Tide?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide?
Why the Roll Tide?
Because they tried to
keep running from the smoke?
Roll Tide, Soul Patrol, whoever won the DFL championship, even though half our players played in the DFL championship too.
Anyone that's ducking a game.
Joe Johnson.
Who would you guys say is a key player on your offense from? I would say
Alonzo Simpson is a key player on the offense. He's very valuable to the Canes. He does everything. Throws on the ball.
Hey, can I jump in real quick?
It's half and half. Bro.
Brandon Schilling.
Yes.
He came in when we needed a quarterback at most. We needed someone who would come in and lead the team, and he did as good as anyone can expect. He got his first ring too.
Not even. There were so many people that doubted him.
Yeah,
The
so many
hate that he
people
got
that
from
doubted
Grid Zone. And
Yep.
the fact that, he obviously, the expectations weren't high for him, but
Yeah.
shit, championship game, he did what he needed to do. He held us through the whole season. And without him, 100%, we probably would have lost first round playoffs or something like that.
Yep.
If I'm being real. Without a quarterback, it's really hard to function.
Does it fuel you guys when people talk mess about your quarterback, like coming from O-line? Like, people talking mess about your quarterback. Does it bring fire to it?
It brings fire to us, but then we also hit up our quarterback privately, like, hey man, it's time to clock in, plug in, shut this fools up. And come practice, it's a different intensity. I'll be first to say, practice feels sometimes a lot harder than our games, because obviously you're going against number 1 defense versus number 1 offense, and it's actually like the game. We don't take plays off. If we do take plays off, obviously people get hurt, but just the intensity gets risen up hella bad, and our head coach James Fisher, then he starts talking crap to the defense, and then he starts yelling at us, and then at that point it's just
It's game energy.
Yeah,
Practice is always game energy.
I think I can speak for everyone and no disrespect to the Venom, but I think our game week practices were a lot harder than what we went through in the championship. And that's just because, again, no disrespect to the Venom, that's a good team, but it's just our defense. They were coming a little bit different that week for sure. Our defensive line especially was, I'm not afraid, they beat us a couple times, but they made us rise to that level of intensity.
So, championship week, how did you guys prepare for the championship? Was it like a light practice, or was it hard?
No.
There's maybe like one time we had a light practice, and that was just because we had too many injuries. So then we just had that light practice, but then we saw the result of that on a Saturday, and we played probably by far the worst game we've ever had. So then we even told coach, like, yo, never again. Like, hurt or not hurt, we're going in full speed.
I'll tell you, as a coach coming into that, walking up to the game, seeing the Outlaws lost, and knowing who we were facing and who we were going to play the next week, my mind was sealed that day that we were beating.
Yeah.
We were winning a championship.
We were champs.
It was that week. It was literally as I pulled up and heard the Outlaws lost.
After we beat the Rebels, we were champs.
But we had to finish it, obviously.
Right.
It was a challenge, but it was one of those feelings that you're like, this is what we were here for.
Right.
So, when you guys are playing the Rebels, like, what is that feeling when that clock hits 0? Like, was it just joy, or was it just like...
Daryl?
It was joy. I loved it. Again, my first ring, so yeah, it was cool playing the Venom. I love playing them, but I felt like we did bring a different type of intensity that way.
For that week, it was just more of, I don't care who you are, you just gonna get your butt whooped. And that's what we came into every single play. If you look at film, we threw the ball, but it was deep shots. Most of the game, we were running, and that's 5-6 yards of carry. We were basically enforcing our will. We had basically used our physicality, which I love. The Venom are a great team, but that's one thing I feel like they do lack.
How about beating the Rebels?
The Rebels was also a great team.
Hey,
That was the original question, and then I don't think you heard it.
The Rebels.
I mean, it was.
They beat the Rebels, they go straight to the ship.
Especially they kicked us out. They kicked us out
I
the
was
year
just gonna
prior.
say, it was a
So
good-
it was.
it was a good match.
I'd tell you,
Don't worry, I got him back for you guys.
I tell you what though, after beating the Rebels, like this is only my second season in the Cactus Football League, and we fell short last season and to the Rebels in the semis.
And I was 100% offensive.
Yes.
Offensive.
And it was
And
offensive.
that's why I think for us it felt so good. 'Cause
Yeah.
we did what we needed to do.
Because everybody all season was telling you guys, you haven't scored on this.
Right.
you haven't scored on this,
That was the biggest thing is we hadn't scored on the Rebels.
All year, this year, the 2 games that you guys had against
Yeah,
them.
it was-
And I'm speaking
I
as a
think-
coach, seeing what you guys did
Yeah.
last year and what you did this year. You absolutely, when you came to the playoffs, you guys bonded. You knew what the job was. You knew the shit that was talking about the week before that we lost. And you guys bonded together, and it was unprecedented. Like how you guys did that shit, I was proud. Like the meetings, the practice, the games, everything. You guys were there together. That's what it took for you guys.
I think it was a little more special for Daryl and I too, just because, I mean, I was on the Rebels up until this past season. So I was on that undefeated team that won the championship for the Rebels. I was on the team last year that knocked them out of the playoffs in the semifinals and lost to the Outlaws. Daryl and I came over to the Rebels from the AZFL, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. So like, it was a little bit more special. I mean, it wasn't like a disrespectful thing because I literally live with a player on the Rebels right now. So like, I have so much respect for those guys. They're all my brothers still. And if the Canes for some reason didn't come back one year, I'd probably go back to the Rebels. That's the only team I'd ever play for again. But I mean, I think just, it's always a little bit more personal when it's a team that you played for before. But again, nothing but respect for them, at least on my end. I don't know how everyone else feels about the Rebels, but like, I love those guys over there. So it was pretty sweet to be able to beat them and obviously get everyone, hugging me and telling me go win another ring.
He didn't raise your
So
ring.
is there a guy?
Did not raise my rent, no.
Is there a guy on defense that you guys look at and be like, okay, that guy's gonna come every game?
Sosa.
From our team or a different
From
team?
the Canes.
From the Canes?
Sosa.
Sosa, linebacker.
So
Jake, God, that's right here. Yeah, but Jake is like contact though.
he's consistent, and
Jake is
I'd say,
in the box.
dude, Sosa's consistent, and he is
Jojo, you offensive?
assumed, or he's like Phil, the leader of a captain to the greatest potential that we could actually ask for from someone in this league. And he actually cares deeply about what everyone's doing individually for their position. He understands his concepts. He knows how to lead. He doesn't care about your feelings in the middle of it, but he wants to make sure you're doing your job. He cares about the success of each and every single player, and I think that's why he, as an individual, is the best captain we've ever had.
Sosa's one of those guys who in practice will kill us on offense and then come right into our huddle and then motivate us to do better. And then in the game, if we're struggling, he's the first one to meet us off the field before he has to go on for defense and tell us, defense has your back, just regroup and, just pep talk basically. He's that kind of leader. He really is like, and he comes every play. He does not take plays off.
Playing
at
against
all.
him sucks.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he talks a lot of shit.
And he likes to talk, which is always
But
fun.
the best part about him is his emotion that he showed this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
At practice, that really, to me, I was like, who the hell are you? Like, this is a
Right.
different side of the football player. You're like, shit, you want to beat heads. But it's the passion he brought to your team, to your defense.
I can honestly say he held everybody accountable.
Yeah.
We'd have an off practice for offense. He would hold every one of us accountable. He would talk shit to every single one of us, and then he'd help us up at the end.
That passion honestly leaked into the offense well after that Outlaws loss. And I know that was a big step for Brandon coming into the team. That was his second game.
No,
That was like his fourth. That was his end of the season.
came in week
No, I was talking about during the middle of the season.
Yeah,
We
but
played.
that was later in the end of the season that we played.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost the Outlaws week 10,
7.
Yeah, because I know that was, because we played the Phantoms a week before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a
But
big,
still, that was still a big.
that was still a big step for Brandon coming in, because he's still getting used to the offense, he's still getting used to the personnel. You're coming in halfway through the season, and it's exactly what you expect. But like, after we got that, and this team started sort of crumbling, so his emotions just leaked right into the entire team. So, I mean, it really patched it together like glue.
So your coach, James Fisher, how do you guys honestly feel about him, like in the standpoint of respect, you know, and like just whatever, how you feel basically?
He's a
That's
dick.
my motherfucking dog. He's a piece of shit, but that's my dog. That's my dog. I ride it out. I mean, he's a big part of the reason why I'm still playing. Like I told you, he brought that love back to the game. That I mean, even when we didn't have an offensive line coach when we were on the Lions and last year on the Canes, he helped. At least he's helped me a lot with. I mean, he's not even a fucking offensive line coach, but he's helped me a lot with my technique. And just bringing the love back to the game and enjoying the physicality on offense. Because I tell everybody, I'm a defensive player. He refuses to let me play defense. I haven't played defense in like 6 years. And I came over hoping to play defense. And ever since he saw me play offense, I have not gotten a lick on defense. And I mean, like I said, he's brought that love for me to play offensive line, that physicality, that shit-talking mentality. So a big part of the reason why I play the way I play is because of Fish.
I played for Coach Ed Love, who arguably one of the best coaches ever in semi-pro in Arizona. The passion he had, obviously knowledge of the game, and like I said, the passion, the love for his players was the thing that really stood out for him. James Fisher, to me, is on that same level, and I've only played one season for him. I felt at home right away because of him. And I mean, I guess these guys, but mostly because of Fisher, just welcomed me to the team and everything. I mean, he's up there. In my opinion, he's one of the best, if not the best, Arizona semi-pro coach.
So is it Coach Fisher's idea to get you guys off the grid zone?
No, it's not even.
I don't even know why people said that. That was never even talked about.
That is a false. That came straight out of Celeste.
It was never said they have to.
No, that came from just like players ourselves just trying to lock in.
It was more a thing with the Lions
I was just
because of
gonna say,
Ben, the owner of the Lions.
Where it came from was from the Lions. I'll be honest with you, the year the Lions won the championship, we were filled with a bunch of no-names, but we held each other accountable and held ourselves accountable, not to feed in to the toxic people trying to get us to react, trying to get us to talk shit, push our buttons and all that, because, I mean, let's be honest, you get somebody to react to it, you're going to get them off their game because they're going to make that game way more personal than it should be.
That's how
And we chose to do that ourselves. Like, it's never been a coach like, oh, you guys are on a red zone or a grid zone, you guys are gonna sit a quarter or sit a game. It was never really that. We all just did it ourselves because we wanted to focus on us, not focus on everybody around it, because they're not playing beside us. Like, they're not going through what we were going through. And this team has gone through a lot. Like, if there was like a Netflix show possible, like, it'd be us for sure.
Oh,
Especially those first 3
if you could have done 30 for 30 of our season from beginning to the end,
That's
emotions everywhere.
And there's a lot of stuff people don't even know about that happened in practice that obviously will, like probably stick with the team and not come out. But like, there's a lot of stuff that happened that would make kind of people realize like, oh wow, they did really go through a lot. But
Is there a team in the Alliance League that you guys would like to play right now?
Fuck the Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
That one.
Roll Tide.
I'm sorry, that pisses me the hell off that you won't, no.
I think for me at this point it's established that, I mean, people refer to them in other leagues as the poverty league because of the lack of competition there. So, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the sole reason why they don't want to play anybody outside of them. So it is what it is for me at this point. For everybody else, it might be personal. They might want to be champs of AZ, but the way I see it is, if they don't want to play, that's a forfeit. That's a surrender. You dug in the smoke. You have no say in who is the real champ of AZ. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
what hit us
I agree.
personally was my bad timing.
You're good. No, I
What hit us personally was that you calling yourself the best in Arizona, you have to play the best.
Oh yeah, like those ads.
If we're the top team of the league in the CFL, like of all the leagues, like come play top dogs. come into our league so we can humble you real quick.
It's not even that. You
And
don't even
then
gotta
kick
come.
back
Cool
down.
when you do it.
It was just set up a game. That's it.
I would say this.
You don't gotta get smoked 10 weeks out of the fucking season.
We even,
Just one game.
we even told them what we practice. Like, we'll meet you guys here, no refs, nothing like that, just.
Damn, that's a brawl. That's not a
You
game.
bring some.
Arguments on the
That's a whole other brawl.
No, the issue was that he asked to set it up.
Straight up.
He had our head coach, our owner, try to set it up, and there was excuses from, I'm not gonna put names into it, I already put the organization, my bad on that, but
I'll say.
when you start saying we're the best and you wanna make a true state champion,
A brand that really was.
play the best. Don't give me an excuse, whether it be the players, whether it be the head coach, the league owner, I don't care. Put your name there and put the best foot forward. If you don't win, you don't win, but you don't duck the smoke. And it happened 2 years in a row, at least to me. 2 years in a row, we wanted to face the Vengeance. They didn't want to play us. They wanted to play a team outside the state. And you can shake your head, but you guys played a team out of state. We would have, the Outlaws would have ran that shit too. Our O-line would have ran the shit this year against the Roll Tide. Our O-line, our D-line, they weren't gonna stop shit. They were not gonna stop shit. And I was gonna come have fun with some young kids. I was gonna put them on their ass. I was gonna have fun with these guys one last time. And that was my goal. But, nobody wants to talk to a coach.
Look, I have respect for Bo Battle. I'll say the name.
Absolutely.
I have respect for him, what he's built with the Roll Tide. But to say that you don't want to play us because you have too many injuries, come on, man, we're all hurt. We all just played a
Look
10-game
at the cameras.
season. We all I'm right here. We just all played a 10-week regular season plus playoffs, and we had to go through some of the better teams in the state. We had to play the Outlaws twice. We had to play the Rebels twice, including the semifinal game. That was probably one of the most physical games I've ever personally been a part of. We are all injured. My back still hurts right now. Like, you can't say injuries are an excuse. And you also can't say that you weren't going to start guys in the championship because of those injuries, because we all know that's BS also.
And how do you have a redesign less than a week after your championship?
I will say this.
That bottom.
If people would have noticed, if you look on film from the Canes O-line, from that Spartans game on, we had mix and match O-line. Rebels on, we had a mix and match offensive line. People were playing, left guard, other people who was playing right guard was playing center, a center playing left guard. You can't use that excuse because we came out every single week and we still battled. This man out for 2 weeks, so we have to go find another right tackle. So now we have second, third string guys in trying to mix and match the offensive line. Injuries are a part of the game. But I feel like you have a product and you want the product to be the best in Arizona. The best product has to go against another product to become the best product. That's all it is. That's the reason why you make this league. You can't just say that you made this league. Yeah, we understand that you want to get the players out of there, but at the end of the day, you always want your product to be that top dog.
Tell them to team up with the Soap Patrol. We'll play both of you.
What the fuck
No,
is up
because
with
they
you
want
guys?
to.
Tucson, bro.
Patrol wants to go
I
there.
don't want to go to Tucson.
Nobody going to Nogales, bro.
John Green, join the Roll Tide.
He
Fuck no, baby.
consistently wants to go to Tucson.
I don't want to go to Tucson.
But if they were to merge the Roll Tide and the Soul Patrol,
They can argue with their fucking mama who's gonna be both of them. How about that shit?
Hey, you only got 11 people on the field at a time.
Oh God, I ain't gonna catch shit, but we gonna beat their ass.
He said, it's 0 for 6.
It's over 6. Throw it at me.
Like 10 yards. It's 0 for 6 though.
An offensive weapon we haven't talked about that I think is going to develop more next season is Dante Jones. I think that he was coming off of his time at Mississippi State and then having a lot of downtime, losing a lot of weight as a tight end, and now he's playing wideout for us. I think that we haven't even seen or even scraped like the bottom of what he actually can bring to the team with his raw talent. So I know that he popped off in the last couple of games. He had a slow start in the early season, but I really am excited to see how this man actually balls out next year.
Hey,
Our whole receiving core is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, JoJo can't catch, but at least.
We talk shit about him all the time.
We lost AJ this year.
But like Phil Ross is.
And
Hey,
My man.
My favorite.
My favorite.
Can't read a Facebook post, but you can catch a ball sometimes.
who is the most explosive player in the league on offense?
Alonzo.
Alonzo Simpson.
In the league.
In the league.
In the league.
In the league.
In the league, I think
I would give it to
Running
Jay.
back from
Man,
receiver, like
Jay Eldridge.
Jake Deatheridge.
from the Venom quarterback.
Jake,
Yeah.
He'll run for his life with that
I
O-line.
love
But that's the thing,
But he made it happen.
But he made it happen. He can literally run
He
back.
literally won the
and then
game
throw the
against
ball.
us, but we
Get a
literally
first down.
hands.
great.
That's Jake. So,
Yeah.
Jake's defense.
Jake, your defense.
Oh, no, I just think that he's the best. Jake Deatheridge is the hardest, I've, probably the hardest quarterback I think I've played in semi-pro. The way he could run around, throw, off-balance throws. That kid was literally the Venom. Like, as you saw, once that
He was the
he went
Venom
down in the championship, like, I just felt like they crumbled once he went down. But, yeah, that kid literally single-handedly won week 3 against us. I felt literally won week 3 for us. Everything.
He also made everyone around him really, like, just better.
Better,
All of
yeah.
his receivers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when he would run around, like, some receivers would just stop and, not try to get open, but his players actually recognized that he was basically scrambling for his life, and they would get open, and that killed us week 3.
It's like Aaron Rodgers, that stuff, like literally like the wide receivers.
faster Mahomes.
Yeah, man, it was, and he
Diet
could run.
Coke.
He's more Pat Mahomes.
But you know what I'm saying? He could just
Yeah.
run, and he'd run. He had no issues
Yeah.
with running. That dude was special.
So who's really explosive on defense for, like, mainly, this is mainly for, like, the O-line guys, like, who do you, like, hate to go against,
Let him
basically?
Hate
Yeah,
to go
Chris.
against. Chris, go ahead.
Let's do it.
Chris has a best friend on the game.
Chris? Yeah.
Not this
Explosive.
good.
I can't say explosive because he takes plays off. He takes
Okay,
plays
most
off. He
dominant.
takes plays off.
Most
Hey, look at the
dominant.
camera. We're talking about dominant.
Touch it.
Gabe. You start talking about dominant. Gabe. 100% Gabe.
Gabe from the Outlaws.
100% Gabe.
Was it-
I've never seen a man bench press 2 people at once just to get a tackle.
100%.
The hell is that? What do you want? Give me. Give me some.
Fish,
Like,
Fish
bro.
during film week that week, was he not? He was just like, yep, there's Gabe again.
Yep.
There's Gabe again.
We even made a play to not block this man, and he said, "No, where you're going, you're coming with me to the tackle. Like, we're gonna make a tackle together."
Yeah.
He's that dominant on the D-line.
As a defensive line, he's so deceptive as an offensive line coach and playing against Gabe for many years. He's deceptively quick.
Yeah, and how short and big he is,
Yes.
you would never think his hands are that quick.
I played him up when
No,
he was with the Warlords.
You would see him, and you'd be like, "All right, he's not that fast." No, he'll take a play off to see what you do, and then instantly he's like, "All right, I got you beat." Next play, gone, done. Hit you with a nice swim, tackle.
Do you
Don't
guys-
block him, tackle.
Do you guys have any expectations for the new guys trying to join the team next year?
Hell yeah, you better come ready to compete. Nothing
better pay,
regardless if you pay money or nothing like that. Nothing's
You haven't earned anything.
Unless you're an O lineman, you automatically have a spot because we're so shallow there.
Oh,
But
we got
Like,
5 guys, like 7 of them.
other than that, skills players, defensive players, all you better come ready to compete. It ain't just crew selling over here.
Well,
By have a spot on O-line, we mean, like, you can come and join. We don't mean you're coming in as a starter right away.
I mean, and you come in your tryouts, like, we're on tryouts going on. You come in,
We have
and if you have any accolades, that don't mean shit. If you're still playing like garbage, you're garbage. That's all it is. Yeah.
How would you guys have done against the team the Vengeance went against last year, the HD Rams? Do you guys think that you guys
He
would
would
have,
have beat the shit out of all of them.
you guys would have competed against them?
He beat the shit out of
The
all of them.
HD Rams?
That was the that was the regional game, right?
They went undefeated 3 years in a row.
That's fine.
Really?
I didn't watch the
Our
All-Star
defense is
games.
stout, man. Our defense is a little crazy. I think we
that
averaged
poverty
5
league
points
they
a game.
referred to? Yeah, never heard of it.
Yeah, I think we gave up 5 points a game on defense. It was like 50 points in what 13 games. I don't think we gave up like a total of 7, like average. Like yeah, we gave up and like that, but we had like 3 or 4 games of donuts. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. That our defense.
Were you guys the number one defense in the league?
Oh, in the state. I think in the state,
Hands down.
hands down.
So what team, okay, so let's go to the SDFL. SAFL? I don't know what.
Whatever
It's the Tucson League.
With the,
So what are you guys feeling towards them? Like you guys, they don't want to play you guys, you know.
How many teams are there?
Did you see
I think there's like 8 teams.
Did you see the picture?
8 teams with 12 players each. So
Yes, did you see the
they can
pictures of the
combine.
players like posing for their cards and everything?
He's talking about the sting.
The Sting.
The sting from last year, 2 years
Like,
ago.
so that
They're like Valentine's cards.
yeah, like it looks like Pop Warner got brought into adult football with the pads and the pants, and
Yeah,
it's
all
like
that
I
baseball
can't take
pants.
you serious because I know that I'm gonna break you. And I wasn't even playing, and I'm thinking that, like
They make me look like they
would have
took
I'm gonna say this right now, any team in this league probably would have played and competed. Even our low teams probably would have competed and beat any of those teams.
Phantoms were destroyed.
He's talking about the
I got a 12 team.
He's talking about the
Thunder. I'm talking about the Thunder.
Oh, Thunder.
Yes, I'm not putting names except for the Thunder.
Well, why don't-
No, it's just a name.
Why don't this team just make a super team out of the Thunder and then just try to play down in Cactus Football League?
A whole bunch of people don't
You have home field advantage all the time.
Well, the Thunder also aren't even around anymore.
Oh, they're not?
You have all the two songs, all the like 17.
Yeah.
been going on for years.
Oh, really? Yeah, some do, so.
What are you guys' opinions on every league coming together and creating a super league?
That'd be awesome.
We had that.
100%, I'm all for it.
There was a point in time we had 17 teams, 2 different conferences,
Didn't make
and that was.
Why did they disperse? Like, why do you think teams left?
This person can't get along with this person,
Ego.
money situation.
Egos, yeah.
Big size.
I would say instantly, egos kills this league, 100%.
I think part of it
So
too
many egos.
was-
So many egos.
who were the two teams that advanced from that? I think they had to basically play a play-in game.
Silverbacks and Owls.
Silverbacks and Owls.
And
So
then
they had
got kicked
to.
out.
So they had to play. So the Silverbacks finished what 9-1 on the year. Now, granted, they played teams from that lower conference, but I think they were really upset that they still had to do a quote-unquote play-in game to get into the playoffs.
That's a wild card.
And then they
Which I
lose.
understand from the Silverbacks perspective how they ran that, where
Right.
you should have one.
They should have been able to get into like the higher
into-
seed.
Yeah, I agree. And that should have been played into account, but that's also like a lot of these leagues don't.
Right.
There's so much, Tossie brings it up and all the guys on the grid zone bring it up. There needs to be something where it's uniform throughout all these leagues and they come together. Like, it's not gonna happen.
No.
It's not. And it's unfortunate for Arizona football because there's a lot of good product here. There's a lot of good players. Like,
There's a lot of young players
Yeah.
that can still get film and go somewhere with this.
I hate that saying.
I don't know. I
hate that saying.
Nobody likes semi-pro film.
I got a call from one of the league owners, and he's basically explaining how this person runs their league this way, this person runs their league this way, and it just can't correlate. Which, just understand.
Why do you guys think that the AZFL was more successful at having multiple teams than the Cactus League?
That's
Longevity. I think it was just around for so long that people trusted the product, but when the product started to go down, I mean, if you think of thinking back to the AZFL now, like when we first joined with the CFL, I mean, Daryl and I would look at each other and be like, man, we actually get locker rooms? Like the AZFL, you're changed on the sideline of the field. The scoreboard didn't work half the time. Like, look, Kevin was always great to me, so I really have nothing bad to say about Kevin, but like the product between what we have now, even if it did kind of go down this year compared to last year, it was way better in the CFL than the AZFL. The AZFL they were using an old field at Thunderbird, no locker rooms. Half the time we had to wait for lights to turn on. There was no scoreboard half the time. It just wasn't great. The film was not great. Things like that. It
That
was
pole in the middle of the film?
Yeah. And then not only that, just like the pettiness that happened towards the end. I mean, you probably remember, Sway, but when the Eagles decided to leave, or who was it? There was one. The Eagles left and they started posting scores 102 to 1 on the website. Like, it was weird. And then who was it? When the Demons left, the Predators played the Demons for the championship, but they deleted that film and put that the Crusaders Predators semifinal was actually the championship. So like the Predators got like a ghost championship that one year. It was kind of weird. So I think that kind of stuff.
That's
true.
Really?
That's true, yeah.
No, I'm joking with Daryl. Oh,
Yeah,
Daryl.
It's on YouTube right now too.
It's still there. So like I think it's that kind of stuff that I think made the AZFL die a little bit. They weren't willing to adapt and do more things, whereas the CFL came in and honestly offered a lot right away and did pretty well with it.
But they snatched that shit back quick.
So, what league was more competitive, the Cactus or the AZFL? Both of their
The
problems.
GFL.
The GFL is more competitive?
GFL. Like when the Phantoms are actually good.
I'll say the AZFL.
Nah, just-
The AZFL was
The AZFL is more competitive? Yeah, you guys haven't had a chance to experience that, have you?
Yeah, no, this is my second, I'm going on my third year, and I can only play for the Kings.
They had like the Warlords, the Eagles, they had all these
Stampedes, Headhunters.
Some people
They had the Reavers that first year. Here's the all in 10. Shout out Tyler.
We had the two songs, Demons, we had the head.
Yeah, that was that
too. The ACFL had divisions.
That was back when like the Soul Patrol were really competitive. They had a ton of really good dudes. Really, no, the Soul
Crusaders were really competitive.
The Crusaders, yeah, they had that one team. Remember the Outlaws with the Z at the end, and they upset the Stampede that year. Yeah, like that. That was crazy time for the ACFL.
Hey. I don't think people really hot up every game at running back.
So, what are you guys going? Are you guys looking to do different this year?
Repeat?
That's different. It's the
I
same.
mean, it's the same a little bit.
It's the same, but
But it's not gonna be.
Only person that's done it lately?
Is there anything that you guys would
Look like we
adjust?
just had to jump ship though.
Back to back, bitches.
Is there anything that you guys would like to adjust that was kind of like you didn't like last year to this year?
In the league or the team?
The team.
I know.
Have receivers catch the fucking ball.
I know some people have issues with play calling. I mean, I think for offensive line, I think we do have plenty of say, so I can't even say that, because when we sit down and talk to Fish about what we see, he listens as opposed to when, other people are trying to.
That's what I mean.
So I don't really have, we took too long to click, my personal thing.
Yeah.
It was all our first year being together, and then we were all makeshift. It was a makeshift O-line. I would hope we would start with the energy that we ended with to build off of.
That Colorado game that we played actually no, the Outlaws game that we played, the last game of this regular season, that was the turning point for the offensive line for sure. I think we realized that we were not physical, we were not coming out with the right mentality. And that Colorado game, even though we did lose, like that, I came late to that game and I immediately noticed right away, okay, this mindset is different. Like I had to adjust and raise my level of intensity to these guys because I came late to that game. And it was from that point on where we were just the most physical that we've played all season. And we now have to take what we did in those last 3 or 4 weeks and do it right away. That's what I would change for sure is our physicality and mentality.
That was the game where I saw you change. Yeah,
The Outlaws game?
because that was, and I'm not
I
trying to.
played
put you
terrible
under the
that
bus.
game. What do you mean I changed?
That's what he said.
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying. Because
yeah.
you actually came up to me and told me that you needed to be out because you had, like, mentally, you were not trying to hurt your team. You were not trying to hurt your five.
Sure.
And you asked me to put somebody in there to compete to help your teammates win. And I think that honestly, that right there shows me a lot more about who you are, that you're willing to sacrifice your pride to give your team the best chance to win. And so that's where I saw a change. And I think that that's where everybody else saw a change on the line, that we're willing to sacrifice to do what's best for the team. So I give you kudos for that because that was, my first year coaching you. I've known you a little bit, but seeing that was huge. Like, I really commend you for that.
It's a real bro.
I was like, remember the Titans moment.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like, I had never played right tackle before.
and he's not a right tackle.
And I'm not a right tackle.
He's better than
So, like, the fact that, I took myself out of that Outlaws game in the fourth quarter. And then, not only that, but my heart was,
Yeah.
we took some stuff and it wasn't great.
It was legal. It was red line.
Energy drinks, is all it was.
Jesus.
But,
This is going on the internet.
yeah, you're right, energy drinks. It was a bad one. But anyway, no, I think that game when I took myself out and really had like a okay, chill out kind of moment, that was when I started playing a lot better. That Colorado game and beyond, I think I played probably the best football I played all year. Which obviously was the right time to do it, so.
Are those Thug U shirts for everyone or, for the team?
I ain't going.
I'm not.
You want a thug? You sure you gotta hit up Sosa?
We'll make
Man,
sure we'll make sure to hit us.
So I got my thug.
I got you.
Hey, just so you guys know,
Sosa says
I
I gave
tried
it
getting
to
that on
Jojo.
something.
What's
That
that?
might be coming to you in August. I tried.
I know what he's talking about.
I tried getting that logo on something that's coming to you in
No.
August.
Some people have.
Jesus.
You guys like the ring you guys picked out?
None of us have seen it.
Oh,
It's a surprise, except for him and the coaches.
Why would you?
Are you impressed with the ring?
haven't seen
I
it?
designed this one.
I haven't seen shit.
No,
See that again?
so
Is that an
literally,
Outlaws ring?
Yes, sir.
only him and then the coaching staff have seen the ring design. You're not allowed to see anything else. None of us, it'll be a surprise for us.
Say some stupid shit.
So we've heard it's like crazy looking, but
So I'll tell you right now, it's bigger than this one. I've measured it, it's that much taller and that much wider.
It's also not a square like the Soul Patrol.
Watch, living next to Rob,
Oh my God.
living next to Rob, I have to hear about this fucking ring all the time, and I don't get to see it. It's ass. I'm so
Okay,
curious.
do you know why?
Because it's probably cool as hell.
No, because we want to make sure you guys all see it at the same time.
Yeah, do like one of the
Yes.
Rams opening. That's probably like the
Because my thing, when I got to help design this, was this man,
Yeah.
that man, all the first year guys that have never got this.
Yeah.
Daryl could have had one though, to be fair.
Could've.
Daryl decided to leave it Rebels when we went undefeated, so.
But
That's why we went to the
that's
Vandals.
what our
I'm
intention
just so
was.
excited for this ring ceremony.
Good, that's what we want.
It's gonna be formal, right? Yeah, we talked about this. Yes.
I'm
I'm gonna get a sexy ass tux.
Oh my God,
Sexy
nothing
as
about
Sexy
you
ass
says sexy.
Alex. Jesus.
I need me about 4 or 5 different reasons.
Bro.
So you guys could basically have like the best merch out there. Like, are you guys branding your merch? Like,
It's different.
I think that's
It's up going from from
What Deion Sanders say? We
like
got everything.
So like I create sweaters. So like someone sees the sweater I'm wearing, like, oh hey, where'd you get that? Like, is it on the team page? I'm like, no, like you want one, I'll get you one. So then I'll have them keep some money and I'll make them one. Same thing with Sosa. If you want one of those Thug U shirts, they'll tell you how much, just kick them, and then I'll make one for you. Short.
stretch that out real quick. That's tight. I like that.
Remember what Deion Sanders said when he got drafted? We got jumpsuits too. What you want?
And those were the shirts.
championship shirt.
Championship shirt for this year.
That one, the league.
I got Cactus Football. What was it? Conference.
I didn't get one.
Everybody get it.
Cactus Football. He said league on it. He said league. I got one.
It took me forever to get in that pile for sure.
He
This
says league.
How do you guys trophy look like? Is it
Tall.
You guys,
It's not as tall and as big as the Soul Patrol shit.
It's a bowl trophy.
We're not talking about mounting things and having it up to you.
They got a side table, bro.
They got a ton.
Oh, this was like a cabinet. Yeah, this was like a nightstand.
In that cabinet, they have all their rings for the next 5 years.
There you go.
You just have to open the door.
What they're trying to say is we're not trying to
Just like
compensate for
Christmas.
shit.
2025, there they are.
how about set up before week 1, set up a scrimmage between the Roll Tide and or the Soul Patrol? Like, there's no excuse, no injuries, no
Bring
nothing.
them all.
Turn the camera.
We can do that back to back, whatever.
Is it Bo? It is Bo. Talk to
I'll
Bo.
just
Let him
open
know.
for week one.
He don't listen to anybody.
We can play it back.
So week 1
Literally.
or before week 1?
Preseason.
Preseason,
Preseason,
yeah.
No.
I bet you
Back-to-back games, then go to
Hey,
week
we
one.
circle back quick.
No, you know what you do? You commit to the leagues having a championship game. Instead of
Yeah,
having
so
it
they-
game one preseason, you have it where they commit right now before anything starts that you have that commitment to a game.
Because that could be two different
A
teams.
requirement,
Yes,
basically.
because you have a signed contract. I don't care if it's someone saying, I'm doing this, and then you're not sign on it. But you have to have something where it is the league champions, because the last true state champion was the Rebels, because they actually played somebody from another league.
Does that matter?
And then you guys beat
But
the
does
shit
that
out of
matter if they're ducking smoke? Like,
It does, because that's not a true.
It matters.
So we are
Going
the
off
state
of-
champion. It's
I guess.
okay.
It's just, it's kind of garbage just going off people's words. You just need to have, like you're saying, you just need to have something written down.
I just feel like if we're like, hey, let's play. You say no. All right, okay. So
All right, I'm
So
sure
you have no say that.
But I'm not like, why not set up if you guys knew that they were gonna duck, like set up another championship game with somebody else.
No one wants to play us.
But then
No, not in the state.
he's talking about
There's plenty out of state.
Oh, you're talking out of
he's
state.
talking about like
like in Colorado.
If you know this is gonna happen, you know.
No, yeah.
Didn't we try?
We
I
tried.
would-
So we were supposed to go out. We were supposed to go out to Atlanta, and but obviously, money situation. So now everybody can work out
That was-
to get out
that
there.
wasn't real.
That was pretty last second, wasn't it, too? Like,
It was last second, but we
It
had
all-
last second game.
It all happened because that organization, whatever it is, ranked Roll Tide ahead of us because they had one more win than we do.
They didn't.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they had played one more game.
That number's
They did
wrong.
not.
Okay, either way,
Two going to the playoffs.
either
they went to
way-
the playoff games, they were the same as us.
either way, they ranked the Roll Tide ahead of us.
They gave them
And
regular
so-
season 9-3.
And so we all said, hey, like, this team denied playing us, basically. And they said, okay, well, instead of changing the ranking, how about you guys come out to Atlanta to play in some national tournament thing? And I never heard anything else from it.
That's true.
So
And that's from the source.
my sources tell me.
That's the report.
My sources.
Yeah.
It's not a word. Yeah.
Zach's got lawyers and everything all over the place, tell you.
Ferber denied.
I don't need lawyers.
Well, honestly, I would really like, I really appreciate you guys coming today. Like, it means a lot to me, because, I'm starting up my podcast and I really just like enjoy like new faces and old faces, like it really means a lot to me that you guys.
See, look right at you. Look right at you.
I'm making all flashbacks, man. Yeah, he's just like this guy right here, Derek, like I was young, he showed me a few things, so,
I showed a lot of.
but, it's okay. And I had to learn, and the experience made me better, honestly, it did. But I really appreciate you guys coming, and thank you for real, honestly, really appreciate it.
No, we
And
appreciate it.
show me the, Thug, go ahead, throw the play out there.